Hi, and welcome back to the Trucking Scribe. Today, I'm still working on this expandable envelope Fairyland journal. I am putting in signatures. So I'm going to show you how to sew in these signatures in the middle. And then we're also cutting up the pockets, and we reinforce where we're sewing in our signatures. So I hope that you enjoy this video, and if you're new here and this is the first video you've seen, I have 2 more to get to this point, and then I'm going to have some more after. I will start a playlist down in the description box below so you can go and check them out if you want to. I do appreciate you coming. Thank you so much, and here's the video. So today I'm going to work on sewing the signatures in and making the pockets. So what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to cut the pockets. So I've got paper clips on the ones that I want to cut, and I'm just going to trim a fairly little small piece off. See, it is not very thick, and it could have been smaller, but that gets it all on there. So what you'll have is a nice pocket, and we're going to fix that hole in a little bit. So I'm going through here and I'm finding the ones that I have my paper clips put on. So that is all that I cut off. I should have 5 pockets. So I've got the front one and I've just got sitting there for right now. And I have this one. I don't know, I may come back and put one there. We'll see what I think as we go. So what we need to do on those is come on this side. And while we're on this side, these envelopes are bigger than what I usually use. You can see right here where it's kind of torn. I'm going to fix that and give it some more stability here in a few minutes with some scraps of paper. So these little scraps are just little. What I'm going to do is cut them maybe 2 inches. Now my other ones, where I've used this heavier envelope, you can see there's not as much tear at the top, but these are, you can see how much difference. And then these are the craft, where these are the white. So I am going to reinforce these edges, which may. So what I'm going to do is just put some glue on here. I might have to get some more glue. And you don't want a lot because you don't want it to seep out over your journal. So I'm just putting that all the way. See how it's up to the top right here? And I'm just going to stick it in. And you may not have this problem, but with this particular format, you might want to go ahead and do this anyway. Like I said, it gives more support to those joints right there. So right now I'm just putting the support on, then we're going to come back in. I'm going to glue some of them closed to be closed, because that's what gives it some of the elasticity, the elasticness. I can't even say that word. So I'm just sliding it in and sliding it up. And I'm trying to open this one wide enough that I don't get glue all over the place. But I want that little piece as far up as can go. See, you can see it there a little bit, but I'm going to come back and try and fix that. This is one of them work in progress things, you know. You learn as you go, because I hadn't, but my other ones have not done this. Okay, as I'm going along, I am finding that it's a little bit easier to get these in by taking your paper and just folding it in half and open it back up and put your glue on. And then what you're going to do is just kind of hold it like that, and it'll slide right down in there. A whole lot easier than trying to do like I was doing a while ago, and that was putting it down straight and then folding. I probably would have been done by now if I had done it the other way. Let's see, especially right there where it's more of a tear. I should have done this to start with, and then it would have been easier. But this is one thing I can show you how to fix if you're interested in making these kind of journals, because depending on the envelope, you do have this issue. And I'm using just, well, this is 28-pound paper, I think, that I'm using right now. It's just some scrap that I had over there, but you don't want to put a lot of bulk in here, although it is giving you a little more room inside, I think. All right. So right now we still have all of our envelopes open on this side. So yeah, this is the first time I've used these envelopes. I don't know if I will decide to use them again or not. I have a lot of them, but for this particular project, I don't know. If I go through and do this to start with, it'll probably be fine. It's just that these are stress points right here. And when I was sewing it, it's a bigger journal to start with, so it had more pressure being put on it. And you have to do all this before you put the spine on. So once we put the spine on, you're not going to really have access to this part of the envelopes. If you're using envelopes from junk mail, you may have this problem, and this is what you do, is you just go in there and you reinforce that little joint. So I've already got a couple of videos set up for this particular journal that I had done. They were just short videos, and then I'm going to gently look and see how my edges are. They're looking good. This is one reason why I like to fold the paper over like this. The way, well, let me go back here because I still got one I got to finish. So when you put this front page on, you're wrapping it around. That's one reason I like to do that, is because of that little edge right there. So what I'm going to do now, while I've got it, and this is already inked, I'm just going to ink those edges You're not going to see the inside unless you look down. I really am going to get this one done. So that's about how you're going to see the inside. Okay, let me go in here and see if I need to, what I need to do on this side. You just need to ink it back up right there. That way that other paper from the other side it was white. We could have inked it before we put it on, but I didn't. Now, see, like right here, you can tell that something might be going on there, but that's just, I think, gives it more detail, that grungy look. But because I did the back side like I did, I know that it's not a weak point. Now it's actually probably one of the stronger areas of the whole journal. But see, this right here, there's that white piece that I can't quite get in there to get. Let me see. Little bristles do a little better on that. These journals, when they're done, they are so pretty. So next week, I'm going to be working on a kit this week and next. Diane with Faith Art Designs and I are going to do a collaboration for peace from God. In Christianity, how God gives us peace to make it through the day. So we're going to do this on Fridays. You are welcome to do it any day of the week you want. We're going to do some kind of little project with the digitals and have the verses that we're talking about that day. And I'm really excited to see how this goes. I've made a couple of digital kits. I haven't really published them, but I will be this one. Diane and I are going to collaborate on it, where we have our own digital, but we actually have something different. So she's going to be making hers, and I'm going to be making mine over here. And we're going to start out with the same artwork. Let me see. I need to fix that one page. Will this one work? No, I think I want this one on there. So on this one, this is the reason I really like this. I didn't need to cut any off the top. Just cut it in half and you're ready to go with this size of an envelope. So I would recommend to either go ahead and after you get them connected, to reinforce your top parts. But definitely make sure you check them before you put the covers on and the spine on them. Go find me some glue sticks, but that's okay. We don't need them right now. I'm just gluing down these edges so that There we go. Okay. Let's look over here again. I think we're good to go. That one, I'll put another one on right there. It just looks kind of weak. Maybe I didn't push it up far enough. Yeah, I think that's what I done because that was the first side I did. I guess I'm gonna leave that up in there because I ain't doing nothing but making a bigger mess. What happened is it fell. I missed the landing, I guess. It's got time to turn the air conditioner on. I've had my air conditioner on for the last few weeks, probably the last month. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go and we're going to find these pages, only these. What I'm going to do is make sure that there's a hole all the way through. I'm going to put ink glue right there along this edge just to close that up. Not a lot. And I'm going to close it. And I'm going to try and make sure I don't get it on that other page. So then I'm going to go and find the next one. Which is right here. And then I'm just putting glue. I hope you can see it. Does your glue bottle ever get stuck when it starts getting empty? I don't know if it's why it does that. If it's air trapped in there, because I don't see any logs or anything coming out when it does this. So the reason you're doing this side, you're gluing these pockets, is so that your stuff doesn't fall out that spine. There we go, a little glue on that one. So the next one. So if you do happen to want pockets and you forget to put them in, or want these type of pockets, what you can do is go in. I'll show you. I'll fix this in a minute. Let me get this done. I think that was the last one, wasn't it? No, I got one more. Okay, so if you were to forget and you got your book all bound together, you could go in here and put glue right there from this side like this. It's just a lot easier to do it from this direction. And if you happen to glue the wrong page, it's not the end of the world. You can just open that pocket the other side up if you want, or you can just leave it. Okay. So now I'm going to do 3 signatures inside the journal. So let's get them together first. I don't know if I want that one. So these are copy dyed pages that I made, and they're beautiful. So this is going to be a fish that's swimming in the pond. So I have some doilies that actually got these at a restaurant here on the other side of Atlanta. I saw them when I was eating, and they brought them out with lasagna. I got some lasagna, and they brought them out, and I'm feeling how thick these are. So I asked them if I could get 1 or 2, and they gave me probably 15. And this is the first time I've used them. So I got that. Let me show you so all the copy dyed paper in this particular group I have copy dyed. So this one is a 2-page. See how it matches up? I fold this over. And I may have some sticking out just because of the nature of so when you open it, you still got beautiful print in there. And then you come through and there's more. I'm going to put one of these. I'm going to put one of these. Yeah. Some of this is going to need so when I want to grungy up stuff, besides just doing the outsides, I do the page too. That way it doesn't look quite so new. I guess I should do this when I get done getting my pages together. So I want 3 signatures. I am going to put, let's see, I want a 3-page on the front. I have, really, because I put all my digitals in, I haven't printed any more off, and I thought, well, I probably don't need to because I got all these beautiful papers. Next I'm going to put this one right here because this part of it is going to be themed as a, I don't know what to do with my fish. This one's going to be a fish. 2, 4, 5. So I need one in the middle. I'm going to move that up here. So I don't want to put too many pages in these, but I do want to have some extra signatures in the middle. So this one is the same. You got, that's the whole image, but you wound up getting more on this side and this side. I did, last summer I made a lot of these. I really liked them. This one I think I'm going to put on the outside. I'm going to put a doily. I want a full-size page. I'll put this in here. It's almost full-size. What else do I got? I don't remember whose that was, but I think it will fit. And I'm going to go ahead before I forget. See, now my glue's just pouring out. This one's going to be a side tuck. You never know it. I do want to really quickly get ink all over my hand. I'm getting glue all over my hand. Yeah. I was trying to remember where this one is not in the kit. I got it from somebody else, but it goes so well. I am going to put it in one of these. I'm going to put it right there. Actually, I think I want it to go this way. So that's 5 for this one. I did 5, didn't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, so I got 6 in the first one. I just don't know where I'm going to put anything else because of the width, so I'm probably going to leave it alone. And here's this one again. I have, what I did was I folded this full-size sheet. I folded in half, and then this one's a little crooked. I don't know if it was crooked when I made it, probably. Yeah. So I did these on my back porch, and I folded one sheet in half, lined it up over here, and then I put my stencil on top. And I think they turned out great. So I'm just going to leave this one crooked because that's some of it. I love the filler coffee dyed paper. So that one I think I'm going to do is a middle page. That way when you open that, you can see it. I don't know, maybe not. Forgot about these pockets. Oh, this one I actually embossed. It's a coffee dyed page that I embossed. I think I'm going to put that one right here. Let's see what else do I got. So this one, I'm going to so I got some of this linen tape from Tim Holtz. I think will go really good with this. I'm going to use it to sew in my signature, but I also think I'm just going to throw one across there. As a decorative. If I can get the thing off. I like that. I'm just going to cut another piece off, and I'm going to cut it right down the middle. That's it. Get real. And my crazy cutting. I have a little left over, so what I'm going to do, there's another little place right there. I'm just going to stick it on there. See? And right here, what I can do, that's already stuck down. I can just I'm going to leave that one there. So 1, 2. I'm counting the doily as a page 2 because you can use it for something. So that's 3, 4, 5. I may just do 5. So all these are just extra pages that I brought along to see if I might be able to use them. I do want this. This is a coffee dyed sheet. I have a little bit of everything in here. I did want to see about putting, I like putting a coloring page in one of them. Let's see. Let's see, I don't want to mess with that, or that, or that. So I guess this time we're not going to do a coloring page. Okay. So now that I've got my signatures ready, what I'm going to do is go to the front, and I'm going to decide where I want to put these signatures. So I can put one here. I can put one here. And then I can go about middle ways and put another one. I think here's going to be a good spot. Let's see. Put this one on it here. Let's see how it's already starting to expand. What I'm thinking about doing is using this tape here to reinforce that spine where I'm going to put these signatures at. Let me see, the first one I'm going to put on this spine. Now see, I'm not sure how much I want to do of this. Cut it. It is a little bit thicker. But I like the idea of using the tape. And the other option would be inside, but I think the inside is going to be too much. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting this tape, and it is sticky. So you're going to use all your hands. Let's see how I've got it. I'm just going to take and fold that over just like we did those other pieces. That one's already folded because it's a pocket, so that will help secure that pocket even more. Okay, it looks pretty on that side, although we're not going to see it. So then my next one I want right here. I'm going to do the same thing, is cut me off a piece of I'm cutting it a little bit shorter than what I need. And since I know I need 3, I'm going to do one more. Now, to be honest, I forgot where my next one was. And what I did was do 4 in between. 2, 3, 4. This one's going to fall on another. Yeah. And you can put these signatures anywhere that you want in here. I'm just spacing them out. And again, I'm going to take both of my fingers and all my fingers and try and hold that under fingers, holding the journal. I may have this just a little bit too long, so I'm going to trim it. So what I'm doing is going right in there, just holding this open, putting it down, rubbing it, see how it's still sticking out and still sticking out over here. And I'm just going to roll it over. That, like that. Okay. See, I probably need to take a little bit off of this one too. Okay, so I'm going to put my other signature right here. Okay. And they seem to be falling on the signatures that I have the pockets on, which work fine because I kind of tried to space them out too, and this will just give those pockets a little more security in that they're closed. And you can see I was trying to pull this up to move that, and you don't have to, it's just, so now we have this here. It's really pretty. Like I said, you're not going to see this. So my first signature, I got it going in right here. Thinking about that blue, but yeah, that's awful bright blue. If I put this one in, okay. So since you will not see the thread over here, you can use different colors in each section. And this looks really pretty with maybe a pink. So I need 2 lengths of thread. I did about a little over 2. Yeah, I'm wondering, I like this purple too. Would that go? What I got in there? I think the pink will go better with that other signature, so I'm going to do purple here. I'll get my thread to act right. So I'm just being a little generous. 2 lengths of the thread, and then I added just a little bit more. So again, since we're not sewing directly in the spine, our holes don't necessarily need to match. They need to be approximately in the same area. So let me find a piece of paper. So what I can do, this is the width of my paper. I'm going to just fold it in half this way, where it's pretty close to being half. I'm not doing as much measuring today. So this is the long way, so this is going this way of your journal. What I'm going to do is take this and fold it in half. And then I'm going to take the tops, because it's shorter, I'm going to do like a, and this is just to help those that haven't done bookbinding and sewing signatures in. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my template and I am going to write top up here just so I know which way that's going. And then I'm going to go where my signature is. Okay. And I'm going to put my pages in here where I want them. Make sure they're turned the right direction and all that. Now you can paper clip them, which I will do. See, I'm also looking right there to center this part in the middle too, because you got a little bit of play right there that's actually nice when you're doing this. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold it in. So now it fits my paper. See this whole, this crossing right there. There's one right here, and then there's one down here. I'm going to punch a hole carefully because I do not want to punch into the other envelopes. And it's a little bit harder to punch because of the fabric and the tape. So it's, like I said, I want that to be reinforced. So what I'm going to do, let me thread in my needle. It's all crazy this morning, y'all. I'm going to take my template out and I'm going to start in the middle. And I'm going to come through that hole. I'm going to go through this one up here that I made. And I'm going to put a little bit more glue, a little bit more tape over this when I get done. I didn't quite get that slide. So what I'm doing is I'm just trying to get my papers to align. For some reason they're not. There we go. So you can do it one at a time like I just did. And you go all the way to the bottom. And here's another hole right there. I'm just going to go through it. Like I said, it is a little tough getting through there because of the fabric. There it goes. And then I've got a dull needle too, instead of embroidery needles. Isn't I wanting to go through that paper, through the glue. You may have to pull your papers up like this, and you're trying not to split that thread, which I think I just did, but so I'm going in right there on the other side of that one. I always wrestle with these. Sometimes I actually get it right the first time. So what I'm doing now is I've got my string, one on each side of this middle one, and I'm gently pulling and checking over here to make sure that my string is fairly tight. And I'm going to tie a knot. And then whoever gets this journal can undo that and put dangles or whatever they want down through there. Now I'm going to find my next page, which is right here. I'm going to put this one in here. So I want that centered middle ways. I just like mine centered. You can do them all the way up or down. It doesn't matter. But you probably do want to make sure they're turned right side up, because that can be a challenge. See, I'm just looking here and kind of getting an idea where I want my. See, I got a little bit here, a little bit there, and I'm just going to stick these back on. Here's my template again. Just line it up. This is where you need to fold it open so you can make sure you don't get your other envelopes. Like I said, this is a little bit more, taking a little bit more than I was expecting with that tape, but the tape feels like duct tape. Something I can maybe a little bit. That one might work. I can get it threaded. So this one is thicker than that other one. This one has a blunt tip, fairly blunt, whereas this one has a pointy flat tip. I'm not sure what it's used for, but I got a pack of needles that came in. Again, I'm going through the middle. Yeah, that's much better going through. Here's my little hole. I can see it since I punched it halfway good. Yeah, that made it much easier to get through. I'm going to come down to the bottom again. Yeah. So if you're using that tape to secure your envelope journal, use a sharper needle to get through that tape. And I'm going to try and, so when you're messing with these, you gently kind of pull them out. And what I'm doing is I'm trying to add a little bit here, not too much. There, so they're the same size. So don't pull like this way because you'll rip your paper. What you do is you pull towards the outside of the books gently. Like I said, I've got that in the middle. And I'm just going to tie a knot. This is looking very good. Let's see, where's my other one? Right here. And you could probably put a signature in between each one of these envelopes if you want it. I've not tried it yet. Usually I put 3 so far. I started with 1 and then I decided, well, 3 sounded better, and I thought I could do that. I need to add a little bit more there. And then when I get done, it might have helped before I got really started on each signature, is I'm going to clean my awl because it's got this glue on it. I am trying, I cannot remember her name, but there was a lady, and I'm like her channel below who said to use the hand sanitizer to clean the glue off your scissors. So I had some sitting here forever, and I've gotten where I'm using it. I know it works good on my mat. I'll have to do a video of that one day. So, this isn't coming off as easy as that other kind of glue. So you might have to get. I forgot to put. No, I need to. So I can use. I have a pretty glue that could go there. So 1, 2. I'll do about 2.5 because I don't like wasting. That's why I just leave the. I wasn't sure where I was going to put this. Do I want to put it in here? No. I do want to put it in the journal, but not. I don't think I want to put it right there. So I'm going to turn this one upside down right now because it's easier to get to because there's my. And I'm going to go in the hole right here. There we go. So these are tight. I'm just going to pull that and again tie it. And then I'm going to read it and see where it's on this side. These two quite didn't get a piece on it. Got these little pieces right here. I'm just going to reinforce it because I kind of went a little bit further, but that's okay. Sound like James, my grandson, that's okay. This is something else. See, that just gives it a little more stability, and I may just go ahead and do the middle one. It is a lot more bulk because this is thicker thread. Usually I use washi tape. Since I had this, I thought, that would be a good stable something to use. So see how it's growing? So this is the linen tape floral. I just got it off of Amazon. I can try to remember to put the link below. I need to write all these link things down. And then we will go to the next step. I'm wanting to say it's going to be the covers finally, because I keep saying covers, but I'll say we'll wait and I'll see if it's the covers. I think it is, but I really appreciate you guys coming by and watching my video. I hope you're enjoying this Fairyland expandable envelope journal that I'm making. I would like to know what other kind of journals that you might be interested in sewing. I've been wanting to do a sewing video. And I think with this journal, I'm going to try and make like a pencil case on camera that would, the colors and all would match. I don't have any fabric. I may be able to print some fabric. I'll have to try that one out. But thank you so much for stopping by It'd be great if you hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Be even better if you left me a comment and subscribe. And if you left me a comment and a like and a subscribe, I'd really, really like that. But I will see you in the next video as we keep going down this little journey with this journal. Thank you and have a great day.